Good evening. With Election Day now less than 1 week away, the WDSU team has uncovered records that has one candidate running for district attorney in St. Bernard Parish going on the defensive.
It all centers on a system in St. Bernard that some say lends itself to potential conflicts.
I-Team investigative reporter Travers Mackel live for us at 6 o'clock with why the prosecutor in question says he did nothing wrong. Travers?
Camille, 3 men are running for district attorney in St. Bernard Parish, 2 longtime assistant DAs and a man who was recently a judge. And tonight, what we uncovered has legal analysts asking a lot of questions, and one of those candidates defending himself. In St. Bernard Parish, the campaign signs mark the times. Election Day is near. And for the first time in 35 years, the people of this parish will elect a new district attorney. 85-year-old Jack Raleigh isn't seeking re-election. So Perry Nicosia, Glenn Diaz, and Michael Gorbity all qualified to run for the post. Nicosia is a former judge. Diaz and Gorbity serve as prosecutors under Raleigh. And one case in particular, involving Michael Gorbity, has a longtime UNO political analyst scratching his head.
You know, it does appear that it needs more investigation.
Here's what public records obtained by the WDSU team show. In 2007, a Chalmette man named Anthony Billiot filed for divorce from his wife. Court records show Gorbity represented Billiot. In St. Bernard Parish, prosecutors are allowed to conduct private practice and handle civil matters, like divorce cases. But Gorbity says, and records show, that months into the proceedings, the Billiots reconciled. Fast forward 6 years to April of 2013. Arrest records show Anthony Billiot was picked up by state police following a traffic stop and charged with driving drunk. The LSP report shows Billiot refused to allow a breathalyzer test, and the arresting officer added, "I could smell a strong odor of an unknown alcoholic beverage coming from his breath. He had slurred speech and swayed slightly while standing still." The report also shows Billiot was driving without a valid license. He was taken into custody. But just over a year later, the case was dismissed. Court records indicate that ADA, who handled the matter and who asked the judge to toss the case on behalf of the state, Michael Gorbity, the man who years earlier had represented Billiot in that civil case. That, attorney and legal analyst Robert Jenkins says, is a concern.
It is a potential conflict, and that's why we try to avoid the appearance of impropriety.
Is there a conflict there? Are you prosecuting somebody that you represented?
No. My representation of Mr. Billiot, I believe, if that's correct, was 2007. It was a petition for divorce that was filed. I don't think we ever served the petition. I really can't remember.
We checked with other DAs in the area. In some jurisdictions, such as Orleans Parish, prosecutors can't conduct private practice business at all. Other offices told the I-Team they take steps to prevent assistant DAs from prosecuting anyone they may have represented in other matters. One district attorney, when asked about the possibility, responded, "Never." But in St. Bernard Parish, Gorbity was the prosecutor of record in the case involving a former client.
I can tell you this, that Mr. Billiot and his wife are still happily married.
And that could raise more questions for Michael Gorbity. That's because less than 60 days after he asked a judge to dismiss the DUI case against Billiot, campaign records show that Laura Billiot, Anthony's wife, gave Gorbity the maximum campaign contribution allowed by law, $2,500. Anthony Billiot is a river pilot, and just days before his wife made her contribution to Gorbity, the Louisiana River Pilots Association state PAC forked over $1,000 to Gorbity's campaign. The head of the Louisiana Pilots Association, Larry Race, confirms the donation and adds that it's common for the PAC to donate to candidates during the election season. He says until we brought it to his attention, he was unaware of the situation involving Billiot and Gorbity. We also talked with Laura Billiot. She says the donation had nothing to do with the DA's office dismissing the DUI case against her husband, and points out that the couple frequently gives to political candidates. She declined to discuss in detail the timing of her donation.
The fact that these charges were dropped against this individual, and then the next thing you know, the ADA is receiving campaign contributions, those are going to raise red flags every time.
He profited on the front part and he profited on the end, so it looks bad.
The timing seems very curious, just the whole, the appearance of a quid pro quo.
Was the case against him dismissed in return for a campaign contribution?
Absolutely not. I think I got a campaign contribution because they think I'm going to be I'm the best candidate for district attorney.
Gorbady tells us he believes the charges were dropped because his boss, current district attorney Jack Raleigh, allowed Billiot to enter a diversion program. There he completed defensive driving and substance abuse courses, and court records indicate Billiot did complete both courses. Gorbady tells us he only handled the matter inside the courtroom and that he had no choice but to drop the charges because he was following Jack Raleigh's rules.
At some point, the case is dismissed because he's done everything that Mr. Raleigh asked him to do, and there were no further issues. So that's all I've got. I've got to get going, Mr. Mack.
Once again, Gorbady says that he's done nothing improper. When he decided not to run for re-election, Jack Raleigh gave no reason and made no public announcement. Scott?
All right, Travers, thanks. And remember, that election will be on the ballot Tuesday.
And if no candidate receives more than 50% of the vote, the top two candidates head to a runoff in December.
Also today, criminal